strong government and like Soviet-style communism.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about socialism.
Right.
And
so
as you define socialism,
not
it's a
every
confiscation
form of government
property.
is socialism. Would you acknowledge that?
No, I don't.
Okay, then.
But you define at the beginning
intellectually
of this.
lazy.
No, you defined at the beginning of this as social. You offered a definition.
I've
that
offered more
socialism was the
nuance to that.
confiscation
I will
of private
say
property.
it is the unreasonable confiscation of.
But how do we
wealth.
find reason?
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, the TV reality show. Yesterday I will be checking on Kirk. Socialist doesn't understand simple economics. I don't know, I haven't watched the video, but before I could say anything on the video, let's watch it. I'm not sure it's going to be interesting.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Sorry, I assumed your gender. I
Yeah, no, you're good,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm not tripping. Yeah, so I was just agreeing with you said socialism is non-American. So what do you think is pro-American?
Well, let's define what socialism is, right? Socialism is the government confiscation of private property. It tends to be the rule of the few, not the many, even though they profess to say it's the rule of the many. But the American, let's just say, economic tradition is private property rights, markets with proper restraint, entrepreneurship, the ability to flourish, trade, create new products. Socialism disincentivizes almost all those things. Socialism is built largely on envy and greed. And hilariously, the people that push for socialism, the rank and file, they don't realize that socialism actually just creates an oligarchy. It doesn't actually create a strong middle class, what they allege, to want.
So do you believe in taxes?
Ideally 10% across the board. Yeah.
Okay, so you believe in the confiscation of people's private property?
I mean, at some point it depends on if it's private property income or if it's necessary to fund government services.
But that's still a confiscation with a gun through police if you don't pay.
At around 10% to fund public services,
but you just
the military.
Find socialism as taking private
Well, hold
property.
on. The average tax rate in a socialist type environment, and even in this country, is what, 55%?
Yeah, but I'm saying taxes in general. That's private property.
So
being taken
taxation
from
is
people who
theft.
earn that money.
I fully acknowledge a moderate form of something I hate in order to fund a government, police, firefighters, EMT as necessary.
But that's still government confiscating
of course
private property,
yes.
which you said was socialism.
Yes, but you vote for it and you agree with it. I mean, I'm not an anarchist.
Why do I
never
agree?
have been.
Well, I'm an anarchist. I say any form of government existence is
that's
socialism.
Fine. Have you ever called the cops?
No, I don't believe.
Okay,
I don't like cops. They don't like me.
Okay, you ever gone to a hospital?
No.
Okay, well, one day when you go to a hospital or you use the social service you
I'm
paid
saying
for.
you define socialism as a confiscation of private property, and you're saying that you
Well,
believe
let me
in
go
taxes, which is a confiscation
let me go
private
further.
wages.
Let me go for the unreasonable confiscation of private property, the elimination of private property altogether. You can have a 10%
that's
tax
communism.
rate.
That's not socialism.
Well, they could be conflated. One is a gateway drug to the other. I mean,
okay, but the middle ground
Lenin said
is
that socialism is a precursor to communism.
Okay, but they're still different. If it's a gateway drug,
they're both
weed.
garden varieties of Marxism. Would you agree?
I agree with that. But I'm saying weed is not meth, so let's talk about weed. That's still a confiscation. If you're saying it's a confiscation,
no, one is better, one is worse, and one is
but if we're talking about socialism,
more lethal.
You defined it at the beginning as the confiscation of private property.
Yes, correct.
It's also collectivized use. Do you believe in public schools?
No, I mean, ideally, I think they should be more community-based and more volunteerism.
Okay, but you believe in them in some level, right?
Well, I mean, again, this is overly abstract and academic. We live in a society where we have government schools, we have public schools, so we could talk about what we want.
I know, but
if we're
talking about what is anti-American, what is pro-American, in the existence of what you say is American, would you say public schools are part of being American? Would you say that? That's
well,
part
no, they
of
are.
America's
I mean,
identity?
the public school system was started by John Dewey 100 years ago. We survived without it for quite a while.
What was it? During the signing of the Constitution, which the Federalists strongly supported, they were part of federalism was having a strong central government.
But
I would say it sounds like
Federalists today would be like libertarians.
Okay,
just so
but that's
we're
still a strong.
They wanted a
central
small
government.
but strong federal
strong
government.
central government still sounds like socialism to me. And that's
see, this is very sloppy intellectual thinking. That just because we want a police force, a border patrol, and we want clean streets, all of a sudden we become a socialist.
But those are still social services.
There is a spectrum between small and strong government and like Soviet-style communism.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about socialism.
Right.
And
so
as you define socialism,
not
it's a
every form
confiscation
of
private
government
property.
is socialism. Would you acknowledge that?
No, I don't.
Okay, then.
But you define at the beginning
intellectually
of this.
lazy.
No, you defined at the beginning of this as social. You offered a definition.
I've offered more nuance to that. I will say
property.
it is the unreasonable confiscation of.
But how do we define reason? What is unreasonable?
That's up to the politics to do. I'd say anything above 10%.
Well, how do you define?
I said 10%. Where I get it from the Bible. Makes sense. 10% of 10% of what you earn, 10% of what you have goes to either to tithe or to God or to some sort of taxation system.
So So just based
Again,
off
that's
the Bible,
my position. We can
your
disagree
position,
on that.
Okay, so your position is based only at 10%. At 11%, it's not socialism. It is socialism.
No, I'm not saying it's socialism. It gets close. It gets further away from
Then
what it is.
Where's the line? What is socialism?
What is the taxation line? How about
Yeah,
this?
if
Socialism is you cannot own the property that you desire.
But you're
And
talking
we're
about me
getting-
being intellectually
how about
lazy.
this?
I'm saying let's have a
So
stringent
let me
definition
actually
of
give you a
what is
real example.
socialism.
California is more socialist. Texas is less socialist. That's a
Okay.
spectrum.
But I want
Would
to
you
know
agree with
when
that?
does socialism begin and when does it end? And I'm saying
You're
saying that some level
it's
of
not like
socialism
an entrance
is, but no, but
into
if you're
Narnia.
saying, if you're
It's like
saying
I'm all of a
socialism
sudden
is
here.
anti-American, I'm saying
it's a
socialism
spectrum.
is a part of America.
Okay, so you want to know when socialism begins and
Yeah.
when it ends?
Yeah.
When you leave the free state of Florida and
Okay,
you
but
enter the unfree state of New
what's
York,
the tax rate in Florida then?
0.
No,
The income tax in Florida is 0.
You still have to pay taxes though.
Federal taxes.
You still have to pay federal
no
taxes.
no corporate
But if
income tax, no
but-
personal income tax.
But you still have to pay federal taxes. So if you have to pay taxes at all, it sounds like Florida's a socialist state.
But yeah, so are you trying to say America's currently socialist?
Yes, that's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
I would agree. We're going more in that direction. So,
Okay, but then
but
you were saying that it's
socialism
not. You're
goes
saying Florida's not
socialism
socialist,
is
and now you're
beyond
saying-
taxes, though.
But wait, you just said that America is socialist, but you said Florida's not socialist. So Florida's part
Well,
of America. That doesn't make sense.
Hold
to
on,
me.
but you pay 20% more taxes here in California than you do in Florida. Yes?
Okay, but they're both socialist.
No, but the federal project right now is more socialist than it is free market. Yes.
Okay, yes.
But in Florida, you get at least some gasp of liberty and freedom that you do not have. In California, if you're a top income earner, you're not paying 15% in addition to a 38% federal income tax rate. That's 53%. That is the government owns a majority of your labor.
Yeah.
So to be even more clear, the closer you get towards the government owning a majority of your labor and your goods, the further and further closer you get to socialism. California is that.
Yeah.
Now, I would love for the federal government to get rid of FICA tax, to get rid of, the excess income tax. I've been clear. I think 10% across the board, fine. We need a military. You might not agree. We need a police force. We need a border patrol. We need basic social services that are a safety net, not a hammock. But I do not believe in this over-the-top type taxation. If you want to talk about other types of taxation that everyone here is paying, it's inflation.
But
when you borrow $2 trillion a year, you do not have, you're getting 10% poorer every single year. I'm going to get to the next question because you keep on saying the same thing over and over again. But
I'm just
final
saying,
point.
I don't understand how you can say that socialism is anti-American when even the most pro-American, I think as you would define, like would you say Florida's pretty pro-American?
Yeah, I mean, they
okay,
have no income tax.
But the thing is, if they still have taxation,
No, they have
if
they're part of the federal government.
If taxation is part of America, and it always has been,
But no, it
public service has
hasn't.
always been part of
So
America.
since you're such a wise guy, how did we fund the government for the income tax?
Through taxation, but I say that's socialist.
Tariffs. We didn't have an income tax till 1917. So I'm going to get to the next person. You should do more studying on American taxation, and there's a
I think you
spectrum.
should define socialism more
Not every
strongly.
form of government is socialism.
So this is most crucial debate I ever watch. Yes, guys, this is most crucial debate I ever watch because actually I don't know, I don't really understand this before. That socialism doesn't understand simple economics. I don't know what it means before, but you can see I have been enlightened and I have learned 1 or 2, 3 things here. I just learned some things here, which is I will check on my dictionary to confirm if I could say anything on it. So maybe next video I will tell you what I learned from this video. Yes, this guy, I don't know where his intelligence is so good. He is very intelligent. I don't know how he does that. Whatever you ask him, he already know. And this guy, the other guy that was asking him that question is also intelligent, and he was asking the kind of question that I was expecting. And him, Charlie, answering the question, he was so carefully answering the question step by step without missing a word. So I can tell you that I really enjoy this, and I love it. So guys, I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you learned something from it. Let me see it on the comment section. If you get any video that you want me to react to, please let me see it on the comment section so that I can drop the link on the comment section so I can be able to download it and watch. Thank you once more, and don't forget to subscribe for more video. See you next time.